Hi guys, it's me, Terry, of the Yarnjoy podcast. Welcome back to another video in my birthday month series. This is video number 2. Okay, so in this video, I just wanted to share with you some of my favorite things as far as tools related to crochet, of course, yarns, the types of patterns I like to make, stuff like that. So let's get started. Okay, so for my tools, let's of course start off with crochet hooks. Okay, so for crochet hooks, I have quite a few of all different kinds, as you can see. My husband made this crochet hook holder for me a few months ago. I showed it in an earlier video, but I'm really enjoying it. And as you can see, I have many different types of hooks, crochet hooks. Okay, so I think what I started out with were the metal, just regular metal hooks. Had quite a big collection of those. I think the majority of them are boy hooks, and I do still use them depending on the size. You know, as you know, I do so many projects at one time. A lot of times my hooks are in project bags here and there, so I have multiples of the same size hooks. But then let's see, so I use those the aluminum ones. I do have a few Susan Bates. To me, I really don't see much of a difference between Susan Bates and boy. I don't know. That's just me, but I do know some people prefer one brand over the other. Now, for the very small hooks, they were so small to hold on to that I decided to make a few of my own of the polymer clay handles, and I would cover the small aluminum hooks. This one is a B hook there, and of course I hardly ever use it. I made one for, let's see, I made this one, which is a polymer clay hook. It's an F hook. This has got some sparkles in it. Anyway, so I've made, let's see, it looks like 4 of them. I've got this one and this one right there. I just covered the very small one to get. Was thinking that if I gave it a bigger diameter, it would be more to hang on to. But I discovered that I think the polymer clay hooks are pretty, but I don't really care to use them. They're bigger in diameter, but they are very they're hard. You know, I don't know. They're okay. I like them okay. I use them if I can't find the other hooks in that size, I'll use them, but I don't grab them first. No. The ones I have come to like. Well, now I will say that I bought this set of these acrylic, plastic acrylic. I don't know. They may be Susan Bates. I think they're Susan Bates. They're very large hooks, like a P hook and an M and an N, I think. I can't read it. I think but I do have a few smaller ones, and I thought they were pretty clear, see-through color, transparent colors. I thought they were pretty, but I don't care for them too much because maybe it's just my eyes, but they are very hard to read because the sizes are, they might have been painted. I mean, they're imprinted on, because I can feel them like textured, and they might have been painted at one time, but that part has worn off, and so it's very difficult for me to know what hook size that is without using a gauge, you know, with the holes in it that you test to see what size hooks they are. So anyway, and then I will show you one more. Let me put this holder down a minute. I do have one of the light up hooks, the what are these called? The Crochet Light, L-I-T-E, in a size H, and I do have one of these. I thought I had more than one. See, it does light up. But I don't hardly, that's a double negative, I think. I hardly ever use this because it is not round. As you can see, it is flat. And so it just feels awkward in my hand. So I don't use this. I mean, I do use it. In fact, I'm using this one for my Jada and Stitches calendar blanket because I needed an H hook and all my H hooks were being used. So I do use it, but I don't really care for it because the fact that it's flat and it's not round, it just feels funny in my hand, you know, not what I'm used to. Okay, so my favorite hooks are the, I would say probably the tulip, which are close to the clover, not the clover ones that have the like yellow colored plastic handle that has that little cushion part for your thumb, not those, but the, I think, in fact, I have one. Let's see, I think, no, let me see, which one is it? This one, I believe, is a clover. Okay, it's the ones that have the cushioned handles. Okay, well, I like those as well. I was beginning to collect these tulip ones, and they're like $6-7 per hook. And so I just bought, I don't have a set, I just bought the ones that I normally, the range of sizes, and I bought them like one at a time. The ones that I usually use, which is like an F, a G, H, I, and J, I think, is the ones I bought, because this one is the J hook. And I have the H here, and then, of course, my other ones are all in projects. And so, anyway, I really like those. And I just seem to get caught up, or not caught up, I seem to really enjoy the cushioned handled hooks. Now, it may be because about a year, I guess it's been a year or two, I don't know, I lose track of time, but I broke a couple of bones in this hand, which I'm left-handed, and this is, of course, my hook hand. And so, my grip is not as strong as it used to be. I know as far as writing and stuff like that, I can write, but if I write for a long period of time, my hand really starts bothering me. And so I don't know, maybe it's because my grip has changed because of my injury, I don't know, but I do really like the cushioned handled hooks. Okay, now I did buy a set of these cushioned handled hooks off of Amazon last year, and I did a review on them, and the brand, it was a set of 9 hooks, and it started out, I think, that, like, this is a 2.0 millimeter. I think it went from that up to the equivalent of a J hook, which is what is that, 6 millimeter. I think that was the biggest one I got. I'm looking to see. I think so. Like I said, a lot of my hooks are missing because they're in projects. But anyway, these that I bought from Amazon, the set was about $14, I think, and like I said, there was 9 hooks in there, and the company name that made them is Festival Hands. And I will try to find a link, and I'll put a link to the set that I ordered, or, well, actually, I was looking for the set that I ordered a while ago on Amazon, and actually they have another set that's got 12 hooks in it, plus I think it comes with a few darning needles or something. But anyway, there's a set of 12 of them, same company, and for about $14 or $15, I can't remember. And I'll put a link below in the description box of those. I'm not an affiliate with Amazon, so I don't get anything for you clicking on it, but I just want to share where I got them. And I just want to let you know that they are not the Tulip Clover, you know, more well-known brand. See, I think this is one, yeah. But I think they work almost as well. I enjoy using them. If you like the cushioned hook, cushion handled hooks, then maybe you want to try them out. I really like the set. I like the bright colors. The only thing now, I will tell you this, is the only thing is, let me see, here's a big one. This is a J hook. They have the millimeters imprinted in the handle, so it won't wear off. That's good, but they do not have the letter equivalent if you're used to the US terms of crochet hooks like this. It says it's a 6 millimeter hook, and it is equivalent of a J, and so all I did was I don't have the millimeters memorized too much on hooks because I learned using the letters equivalent, and so I just took a Sharpie permanent marker and I wrote down the letter. If you see that, I put a J on there, although it does wear after a while and I have to repaint it on there. But that's the only thing, is if that doesn't bother you, that it's only got the millimeters on there and not the US equivalent letters, then you may want to check them out. Okay. So that is my experience with hooks. In fact, I do want to show you this product I bought off of jet.com. They had different crochet supplies, and they had these cushioned covers that you can slide your metal hook into. I think it was a set of 2 for, I want to say maybe $5, I don't know, something. So you may think that is a little bit high, but I have so many of the metal hooks, I wanted to try them out, and I did buy a couple of sets, and I slid them on my smaller ones. Like this is a G hook, and I just wrote on the end there the letter and the millimeter equivalent, and it was kind of, you have to put like soap on the hook and then slide this foam cylinder onto it, and then it's fine. And I like the length of it, because when I hold my hook, I tend to really spread out how much area I grab a hold of, and so I like the fact that it's cushioned. A large area of it is cushioned. Anyway, okay, so that's enough about hooks. Okay, so another of the tools that I enjoy is my darning needles. Now the ones I like, I've used different ones, or yarn needles, I guess you can call them that. But I've tried different ones that other people have suggested, and this is the ones I always go back to, is the Chibi, C-H-I-B-I. It's a little set that you can buy. I think that comes with maybe 2 needles. It is by Clover, and I got them at like Joann's. The blue container, it comes with 2 of these bent tip. You see the bent tip, I don't know if you can see it. Needles with the large eye, and I just really like these ones with the ones that got that bent end for getting under the strands of yarn. Now I did buy the other set, which comes in a yellow container, and they are not the gold colored. They are they still have the bent end, but they're the metal, I guess you'd say, or stainless, and I like these too. In fact, this set came with about 2 or 3, maybe 3, and they all have the bent tip, but they're some of them are a little shorter than the other ones, or not shorter. They look like they're the same length, aren't they? Yeah, they're the same length, but some of them are fatter, bigger round, I guess. They're thicker, I don't know how you say it, but anyway, they do have the bent tip, and I just really enjoy those quite a bit. Those are my favorite needles of all the different ones that I've tried, so you may want to check those out. Okay, and let's see, so as far as anything else, let's see, I always like to have a small pair of scissors, and I have all different kinds. I have quite a few because I like to have kind of a kit in my project bags. I have so many projects going on, so I will have at least the hook and then a pair of scissors in each of the bags. So I have lots of little tiny scissors. I don't know where some of them have come from. Some of them might be, you know, children's scissors, possibly. I do have some that are blunt edged. I don't see them now, but some of these, I have some that are folding. Of course, my favorite ones are these, which are Fisker's brand, right there. It comes with the cover. And let's see, what else? But like I said, I do have several pairs of scissors. They're spread out all over the place. And then let's see, also is stitch markers. Of course, being a crocheter, I like the stitch markers that you can take on and off, okay, to mark your stitches. Because that's usually what you have to do as far as when it's crocheting versus knitting. And so I have a lot of these plastic ones, that are like the safety pin type. But I have used bobby pins. I have used just a strand of yarn. Ella of No Catchy Name made me this really pretty one right there. And so I have just all kinds of stitch markers. So, but really, you don't even have to spend money on stitch markers if you don't want to. You can use bobby pins, like you said. Like I said, I have used bobby pins. I have used just whatever's in reach. A strand of a different colored yarn works well. Okay. Let's see. And then what else? Oh, counters. I have my favorite one, I guess, would be the little clicker type. This one is from Clover. See, clicks. I like that one. I have used, I have an app on my phone. It just says counter, I think. And I've used that one just to keep track of my, let me see if I can find it. To keep track of my rows and what, you know, what row I'm on. If you can see, ooh, it's really bright. Let me see. Okay. And there's many different ones. That just happened to be one that I found that was free and it was simple. I didn't want it too technical. And then also, let's see. I do have this kit. It's called the Knit Kit, and it's got a counter on the top right there. It's got, I think it's more for knitters than crocheters, because it's got a counter, and then it does have a tape measure here, okay, that's retractable. And it's got on the back, it's got this little door that lifts up, and it's got, well, in the door, let me hold that so it won't fall out. In the door, see, it's got a needle gauge with all the little holes, which will work with crochet hooks as well, but I think it's mainly designed for knitting. And then inside, there's a little area, if you can see that, there's some folding scissors right there, and a few stitch markers, but they're more for knitting. And I do have a couple of darning yarn needles in there. And then on the side there's a crochet hook. Right here it's a bent one, but I think it's for knitting. So it's just to like pick up stitches or something, not necessary to crochet with. And over here there is a thing that pulls out, and it's a yarn cutter. This one, it's handy. I don't really use it that much because, like I said, if it was for knitting, I think more. But it was a little pricey. I think actually, I think it was given to me as a gift. But I do think they're a little bit on the pricey side, unless the price has gone down. I'm not sure. I didn't look it up to see. Sorry. I do have one of these counters that's like a ring type thing that can go onto your finger, and it's digital. I have used that one. You don't have to put down what you're doing. You can just click the little button there and keep on going. So I have several different counters. Those are pretty much my favorite. I've even used a piece of paper with a pen and just with tally marks, or write down the numbers, or check them off, whatever. I've done that as far as for counting. So that's really it for counting. And then like I do usually use, not so much, but I do have tape measures. I have this one, it's worn off, but it says Red Heart. And I use that occasionally, mainly if I'm going to make hats and it has to go down to a certain length, that sort of thing. This is, like I said, this one's got a tape measure in it. What else? I have regular sewing tape measures, but I don't really use tape measures that much. Just if something has to like go to a certain length, something like that. And let's see, what else? Okay, oh, and I have showed these before when I do my corner-to-corner Graphgans. I like these jumbo clothespins. It's a set of 6 white ones and blue ones that I got from Dollar Tree. And I like to use those as the bobbins for my yarn, okay? And let's see. Also, now this I would say is an investment because I bought these Knitter's Pride knit blockers, okay? And I actually have 2 sets of them because majority of my projects are larger projects, lap gans, blankets, that sort of thing, shawls. And these are these pin, oh, can you see those pins? They had this size and then a more narrow size, and it's to actually pin out the edges if you need something really straight on the edges, or you're pinning out a shawl and you need something really straight, or pin the points out. Well, not really the points, but if they have straight edges, these work really well. And but I ended up buying 2 sets of them because of the size of the projects that I use, and they are about $20 a set. So I felt like that they're kind of an investment to spend the money on them, but I think they're very well worth it. They work very well. Okay, and the only other thing as far as tools, I do want to just mention that I use, well, I made this pin cushion a long time ago, but I wanted to show you that I bought a set of quilters pins, and they are longer, you see that, but they're longer than regular pins. I have, let's see, here's a regular one. Hold them up together. I don't know if you can see it. See, one's longer than the other. See? And but I do like the long quilters pins, and I use these to pin straight pins, and I use them to pin pieces of amigurumis, like pins the legs and arms onto the body to help with placement, to make sure I have them in the right place before I start stitching the body parts together. I also use them to, when I'm blocking something, to pin out my piece wet to hold its shape the way it wants it. So I feel like these quilting pins are very, very, very useful. And you can buy them at, they got them at Walmart in the sewing department, Joann's, Michael's, anywhere that's got crafts, sewing mainly, sewing notions. Okay, so that is all of the tools that I really wanted to talk to you about. I think that I use most regularly. And now as far as types of patterns, now I'm not going to go into any specific patterns because I'm going to go into more of that in another video. But I just want to say that the most of the projects that I do are blankets, lap gans, not blankets like bed-size blankets, but like Afghans, things you'd put on the couch or just cover up with on the couch, lap gans, that size, baby blankets, children's blankets, stuff like that. I do like sampler type projects, like the around the bases blanket. I mean, you can see it, but it's on the back of that chair. something that are like sampler stitches, so then it'll hold my interest, and it's you doing different stitches and it doesn't get boring. I don't really care for blankets that you have to chain a huge amount of numbers across, like chain 200 stitches or whatever, and then you just go back and forth and back and forth. To me, that's kind of boring, and especially if it's long, it just seems like it doesn't work up quick, and so it's difficult for me to do pattern or projects like that. I'd rather it to be pieces, squares, panels, or in the round, maybe like not in the round, but square, you know, like a square blanket. Like I said, around the bases where there's different stitches that you do. If it's a chevron, even the chevron, like a zigzag stitch, that has more interest to me than something that's straight and flat, you know, that you just gonna have to do the same stitch so many times across, you know, back and forth. At least with the chevron stitch, you're kind of making there's a break in the stitches because you have to do like so many together to make the dip and the spike and the dip, the valley. So I enjoy those, and of course I enjoy corner to corner because they're more interesting to do to me. Log cabins, patterns, and if you've been following me for a while, you know that I love scrap projects. I'm always collecting books and patterns to use up scraps. And so those are kind of a little bit of the ones that I like. Using squares, I like them if they're joined as you go squares or hexagons, different things like that. Okay, garments. I don't make garments that much. I did make this scarf here. This actually is a Christmas gift, but I wanted to try it out. I had kind of a plain shirt on today because it's pretty cold outside, and so I thought I'd dress it up just a little bit. But I think I'm enjoying this, so I think I'm going to make me one. Okay. It's the Chevron Lace Infinity Scarf by mooglyblog.com. I think that's what this is. Okay, but besides this, garments, no, not much because of the sizing issues. It seems like I always have trouble with sizing. I don't know why. To me, it's very difficult to make something for somebody if they're not there to try it on, you know, continually trying it on. And so I don't make garments that much. It just seems like blankets are like one size fits all, so, or one size fits most anyway, and it just seems like it's safer to go with blankets. Now I do make baby hats like for charity, and for baby gifts, like a hat to match with the blanket, and I do that some, but even with the baby hats, a lot of times babies are babies are different sizes, and so my hat will be too small or too big or something. So anyway, don't do much garments. And of course, I do love to make amigurumis. If you can find a really good pattern, that makes it all the more fun, you know. I mean, if the pattern, if there's not a whole bunch of tiny little pieces that you have to stitch together, or hand stitch together. But I do love making amigurumis as well. Okay, well, that's it. I guess this is long enough video. I don't want to bore you. But I just wanted to kind of let you know a little bit of the different things that I like to use. And I do have a ball winder right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just the basic Royal brand. I got it, I think, off of Amazon. And I do use a ball winder if I'm not lazy. A lot of times I'll be lazy and I'll just ball it up, wind it up with my hand. But if I'm gonna wind it up to store it, then I will go ahead and use my ball winder to make a cake. You know, the yarn cake like this, like this one. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Stay tuned. My regular episode, which will be episode 76. Will be in a couple of days, so come back for that. I'll just give you I won't give you a sneak peek because it's in the other room, but I did finish the alligator that I've been working on, the little alligator amigurumi. So come back on Thursday, Thursday evening probably, or well, evening my time. But anyway, Thursday or Friday, in a couple of days. And check it out, and I will show that little alligator that I finished. Among my, and of course, my other projects that I'm working on. So come back and check those out. Check that episode out. Thank you for my subscribers. And if you have not subscribed, please do, so then you can follow me along on my my journey through my projects that I work on. And check back next week. I will have another birthday month series because this is my birthday month, and I will be talking about what inspiration I use to choose the patterns and where I find my patterns. Okay, and so check back if you think that would interest you, and hit the thumbs up below if you like this video, guys. And I guess that's it. I will see you in a couple of days for my regular episode. So everybody have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.